Today we will start the journey. From China's Kubuqi Desert to a place that people once called not just a desert, but a sea of death. Because life here meant slowly disappearing. About 500,000 acres of land were silently buried under the sand every year. Fertile lands turned into desert before our eyes. Vegetation withered, and people were forced to flee their homes. All around are waves of sand and burning wind, and a silence that suggests life here is losing its fight for survival. But the most terrifying thing was that this desert did not stop. It was spreading slowly. About 5 lakh acres of land were being lost under the sand every year. Entire villages, farmlands, roads were slowly being erased. And this process has a name: desertification. Simply put, where there used to be life, only desert is gradually created. And Kubuqi was one of the greatest examples of this. At one time, the desert was spreading at such a rate that it seemed unstoppable. But China did not stop. They have repeatedly tried to stop this desert. Planted trees, built sand control stations, launched big projects, invested crores of rupees. But this ocean of sand could not be stopped. No matter how hard they tried, they seem to be slowly losing this battle. Deserts have an eerie quality. Once it starts growing, it is very difficult to stop it. Just as a man came up with an idea that everyone laughed at first. His name is Wang Wanbiao. He started doing something strange. By spending all his savings, he started a mad spree with the loan. He brought more than 100 bulldozers. 300 workers continued to work for 18 hours a day. Small squares were made with dry bushes on the desert sand, and willow trees started to be planted inside that square. This tree is no ordinary tree. Its roots can go deep into soil up to 300 feet to find water. It means that this tree can create an opportunity where no other tree can survive.
But the problem does not end here. The harsh winds of the desert are so strong that these new plants find it difficult to survive. The wind blows away the sand, and at the same time, the little moisture inside the soil dries up. As a result, the tree dies before it survives. So, Wang uses a new strategy. He surrounds it with bushes so that the wind does not blow directly, and internal moisture can be retained. This small idea gradually started a big change. People were still laughing. This guy is crazy, planting trees in the desert. But he didn't stop. One day, not 2 days, he does the same thing for years. Gradually, some trees survived. Some roots reached deep into the soil. The sand started to stop little by little. It seemed that the impossible was becoming possible little by little. But then another big problem came up. Trees need regular care to keep them alive. New branches should be cut. Otherwise, the tree will not be strong, will not grow. And this is almost impossible to do in this vast desert. If it is done by people, the cost is sky high and the time will be endless. So who will do this? Who will handle this whole system in such a big place? And right here, suddenly the story takes a new twist that no one could have ever imagined. A small animal rabbit started to do the work which was almost impossible to do by humans. A special breed of rabbit Rex rabbit is brought here. These rabbits are called white gold because their fur is so soft, so valuable that a skin can be sold for up to $30, where it costs only $2 to raise a rabbit. That means more than 15 times the return from one animal. But this is not the real story. The real story is hidden in their little habit. Rex rabbits also love to eat the young and tender branches of the willow tree. As these rabbits began to eat the new branches of the tree, the trunk became thicker and stronger and more permanent. It means that the work that humans had to do over and over again,
Cutting the branches and strengthening the tree, was done by these rabbits very easily. It doesn't end here. Another major contribution of these rabbits was their waste. It may sound strange to know, but their dung is very strong. It started working as a natural fertilizer. Slowly, the dry and almost dead soil began to come back to life. There was one more surprise. These rabbits eat grass, but grass seeds could not be fully digested. As a result, through them the seeds would return to the soil. After a few days, grass started to grow where there was only sand, and a small bicycle was formed. Both nature and animals began to work together. Gradually, the sand stopped. The air began to hold the moisture inside the soil, and the sand could not be blown away like before. And within a few years, what was once a dead desert slowly started to turn green. But it does not end here. This change did not stop only in the environment. It has also spread in people's lives. Local people are encouraged to keep these rabbits. Every house started turning into a small farm. Rabbit furs began to be sold. Raw materials started coming from today, and people started earning slowly. Those who were once fleeing this desert began to return again. This process continues for years. At another time, a large part of the Kubuqi Desert is covered with green, the place that was once called only the Sea of Death. Once those who fled from this place came back. But Wang didn't stop there. Built a huge solar power plant in the middle of the desert. 196,000 panels in the shape of a running horse. This plant produces 2.3 billion kilowatt hours of electricity a year, which is enough for about 4 lakh people. But there is a twist here too. These panels don't just generate electricity. They also reduce wind speed by 50%. It also creates shadows under the panels. And under that shadow, the grass grows again. And rabbits, sheep, ducks started eating that grass. It means a new ecosystem is created where technology and nature work together. And today this model is not limited to China. Spain, Africa, the Middle East, many countries are beginning to follow this approach. Herein lies the biggest lesson of this story. No matter how much people laugh at you, you should stick to your goals. Why give up your dreams for the laughter of others? Because at first everyone laughed at everyone who grew up to this day. Now the decision is yours.